Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm 21 years old. I moved to London a few months ago to study English literature at university. Today, I'll share my story with you, what it's like living in London, learning English, and adjusting to life in a big city. As I tell you about my experiences, you'll be improving your English too, so let's begin. Hello, my name is Sarah, and I'm excited to share my story with you today. I'm 21 years old, and I've been living in London for a few months now. I came here to study English literature at university, and I've experienced so much already. Learning English has been a big part of my journey, and I'm going to tell you all about what it's like living, studying, and improving my English in this amazing city. As you listen to my story, you'll also be learning English. Let's get started. I grew up in a small, quiet town in Italy, surrounded by mountains and vineyards. Life there was simple, everyone knew each other, and most people only spoke Italian. English wasn't a big part of our daily lives, except in school. I still remember the first time I heard English. It was during a lesson on Shakespeare, and I became fascinated by the language and the stories. That's when I knew I wanted to study English literature. When I told my family that I wanted to study abroad in London, they were surprised but supportive. It wasn't an easy decision, leaving behind my family, friends, and everything I knew was scary. I had never lived on my own before, but I was excited too. London represented adventure and opportunity. I remember the day I arrived. It was raining, typical London weather. I stepped off the plane, and everything felt different. The air, the people, the pace of life. The city felt enormous, and I was just one small person trying to figure it all out. The first challenge, navigating through the airport signs. All in English. I had to ask for directions several times. My English wasn't perfect, but I managed. That's something I quickly learned. Even when you're unsure, you can still communicate if you try. Now, let me tell you about my daily life in London. Every morning, I wake up early to catch the tube to university. The tube is the underground train system, and is always busy. The first time I took it, I was so nervous. I remember looking at the map and feeling completely lost. I asked someone for help. "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to Holborn?" They were kind enough to guide me, but I had to refocus on their accent. It was so different from the English I learned in school. At university, my classes are challenging but interesting. We discuss all kinds of literature, from classic novels to modern poetry. I have classmates from all over the world, and that's one of the things I love most about studying here. I get to meet people from different cultures, and we all share the same goal: to improve our English and understand the literature. During my breaks, I often grab coffee from a nearby cafe. I remember one of my early visits. The barista asked, "Would you like that to stay or to go?" I hesitated because I wasn't familiar with those terms. In Italy, we don't usually have the to-go option. I smiled and said, "To go, please," even though I wasn't sure what it meant at the time. Moments like these are small victories each day. I learn something new. Life in London is busy, but I'm starting to get used to it. The fast pace, the constant movement, the variety of people, it's all part of the experience. One of the best things about living in London is the cultural diversity. There's always something new to see, something new to try. On weekends, I like to explore the city. I've been to museums, parks, and markets. My favorite so far has been the British Museum. It's so huge that you could spend hours there and still not see everything. One day, I went to Camden Market with some friends. It's a vibrant, colourful place filled with food stalls and unique shops. We tried different types of food: Mexican, Indian, and even some British dishes like meat pies. While walking around, We struck up conversations with people selling handmade jewelry, and I realized how much my English had improved. I was able to chat with them about their work, ask questions, and understand their stories. It felt so natural, like I was part of the local life here. Another cultural experience I won't forget was visiting a traditional English pub. It was my first time in a pub, and I was curious about how it worked. When we walked in, it was warm and cozy, with people chatting and laughing. I ordered fish and chips, a classic British dish. I didn't know what to expect, but it was delicious. I remember sitting there, looking around, and feeling like I was really beginning to understand the culture. Of course, living in London hasn't always been easy. There have been challenges along the way. In my first few weeks, I struggled with homesickness. I missed my family, the familiar streets of my hometown, and the comfort of speaking Italian. But as time passed, I started to find my place here. One of the biggest challenges has been improving my English. When I first arrived, I thought my English was good. But I quickly realized that speaking English in a classroom and speaking it in real life are two very different things. People speak so fast here. There were times when I felt frustrated because I couldn't keep up. But I learned to be patient with myself. I've had to remind myself that making mistakes is part of the learning process. I still remember a conversation with a professor during office hours. I was nervous, and I stumbled over my words. But instead of feeling embarrassed, I took it as a learning opportunity. My professor was kind and encouraged me to keep practicing. And that's exactly what I've been doing, practicing every day. Whether it's through conversations, reading, or listening to podcasts. Each challenge has helped me grow. I'm more confident now. Not just in my English, but in myself. I've learned that it's okay to be out of your comfort zone. That's where the real learning happens. So, that's my story. Living in London has been an adventure, full of ups and downs. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. Every day, I learn something new about the language, the culture, and myself. If you're learning English, remember this. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every time you try, you're getting better. Surround yourself with the language, whether it's through conversations, books, movies, or even videos like this one. And most importantly, enjoy the process. Learning a language is a journey, not a destination. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it's inspired you to keep learning and to embrace the challenges along the way. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.